can't decipher his intentions right now, even if I was gonna release it back.
It looks like he really has no intention of... Back to the question. I would put no special reason.
That guy just casually... If it were me. After all, leaving it there...
I'm happy to see that you made a choice similar to ours. We passionately nursed it back to health, preparing only the best food for it every day. I watched it for a long... Finally, on the fall, shattered, I deeply regret the choices we made. This story happened when I was appointed. It was during that period. He was a dream... He told me he had a plan in place after hearing the Dream Chaser's story. I'll tell you the outcome soon. Will you do as I did and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are... I look forward to everyone's decision.
A Dream Chaser story. But what cruel...
This question, I'd probably choose to...
It seems a leak. He sold his kids. With that thought, there's only one choice. Let the Bloodhound send him back.
It seems you, like me, are pondering... Say he never gets caught, should he be apprehended. As to your choice, and the story this time... This story happened that what surprised me was that the letter contained the usual pleasant...
Do you know who wrote it?
My sister, of course.
To help you grasp the false...
From what the letter indicates...
Correct. Has she...
A stray book?
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this she hoped to ease the people.
Is she alright?
If the operation was successful, by the eon above.
Those... Now you understand why she always wears such a...
How could this happen?
It's all in the past, so likewise. Because this is merely a figment, would you still support Robin's journey?
I often feel like I'm the confusion with each trailblaze.
Miss Robin's courage is admirable, but the fact that she's awesome...
I can't believe that. I can't believe that happened.
I see. I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise. I know the suffering of being tormented. The turmoil of losing your way. How sorrow, and even despair, set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life, And this life isn't some noble
So what is your definition?
Good question. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages, nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis, that is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract. So allow me to provide a simple... During these hard-earned rest days, people are given... And it is only on these days that people do not have. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. And thus, every person can return to their... There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all...
It sounds...
But
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained.
awakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words,
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why? But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the...
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective, but unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves, the want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak, perhaps in your mind, you... Because I don't...
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also now... We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before.
What is this place?
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
I don't know, but I feel a sense of deja vu. What is this place?
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless. But weirdly, when we and Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories. So I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it.
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since me... Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death, which we now know as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux, the question now is, who brought you here? We're drawing closer to the truth.
All right, but there are...
I guess... I'm not entirely sure, but let's give it a try.
Wait, you managed to choose the right door.
Weird. This place, if I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. And the room on the other side was the toy room. Hold on. This doesn't make sense.
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's since this place seems...
Yeah, then let's check.
Mikhail, that's the name. So, who is he?
I'm sorry. I don't...
Anything special?
Mikhail is Grandpa's name.
Grandpa?
But we haven't heard anything about the watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail. Could you tell us more about your grandpa?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured. He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young. Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do. So, where is your grandpa?
He went off on a new... So, where has Clonky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville? I heard some noises from the room.
You and Oregon?
Yeah, it's a member of the Compass crew, just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one origami bird. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best.
Sailors? Can origami bird...
Could you tell us more about the Compass, Misha?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his part...
Huh? Weird. I clearly remember...
Perhaps.
I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead. Look, there it is!
The water resembles a precious... Every time I gaze at the shimmering...
Have you recalled anything?
Yeah. I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say, despite the perils of the sea, he often said that those moments felt like...
Yeah. Hey, don't tease!
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul.
Yeah. While Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fact then. I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him. And he would...
It seems this Mikhail is truly a...
Yeah. Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the...
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on a... Could this be some sort of...
I'm sorry. I don't know. Perhaps I'll... I wish to share your burden.
We're going to the opposite side, right?
No. We should turn...
Huh? Something feels different about...
Up ahead is... Grandpa's study.
Misha, we got it!
The atmosphere in this room...
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky! Here!
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on. He described our world as a fountain. At some to ensure that everyone had land to settle on. He had to continue. On that day, he called me to his study, I asked him if I could go with him, but he said...
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky. An ocean of stars. He said that he knew the crew on the train. And that he had...
A train?
It's the Astral Express! I remember... Then, he gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure. Appearing in every one of... He said, as long as I kept moving, the distant sound of a train whistle.
Exactly, Misha! And then we...
Yeah. I think...
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So we're supposed to...
Do you remember? You said you obtained a mysterious shard.
Hey, the shape seems to...
Looks like we're just one step from it.
This is it. This is my room of clocks. While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage, Walter gave me this workshop. Here, I learned how to repair clockwork and gears. Out of my fondness of precision mechanics,
So, this building in the dream bubble.
Yes, but not this dream bubble itself is...
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something?
Marge, do you remember when he mentioned...
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in...
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express has a childlike spirit!
The answer lies in the Astral Express. His experience shows that neither Firefly nor Acheron can see this clocky. And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, a mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like a...
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together.
That's the key to the mystery, March. Have you ever seen anyone outside of...
Wait.
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged,
So it's not that the watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, and the whistle you heard was the sound of the
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer story behind all this. How about we start with your name?
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system, adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. They gave me a treasure, a name that carried the Mikhail Char Legwork, or simply Misha. If you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name, the Watchmaker.
So, you're the watchmaker himself?
Unfortunately, that legendary figure is no more. I am only a reflection of his life. As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. Friend of Clocky, a young apprentice, and a And this also marks the beginning of his journey, devoted to the Trailblaze.
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize for all the confusion this caused.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze, wasn't he? I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in his dream from the very beginning. The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case, we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless has to go through. But in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. I believe my hound has mentioned the Stellaron and my wealth. If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my path. So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you, for the path of Trailblaze is never paved by others. All I have for you is a story and 2 gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guiding that naive child forward. And my hat, too. The one who navigated for me placed it on my head. Now, it's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door and enter the long dream of an old man. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
All right, everyone. Although I don't think anyone will have it.
Oh, come on, stop joking at a moment like this.
In that case, the vote's then let's proceed together to the end of this dream.
Mikhail, where are you going?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka. So why can't it be me, Misha?
Please don't go. And if you must, please take me with you. Don't leave me alone.
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. The compass is waiting for you. Now go, board that train and start your journey.
Where are you going, Mikhail?
I'm going to clean the floor in the parlor car. I've promised the conductor.
Wait, first tell me, did you fix this watch?
Yeah?
I know what it looked like before. Its chain was broken, the back case torn, and the marks on the dial all worn out.
Well, it's hard to explain, but I knew it could be fixed. It's the hands, Mr. Amundsen. Its hands were intact and pointing in the right direction, so I knew there would be...
I see. You'll work with me from now on. Haven't you always wanted to tinker with this train?
But I only know how to fix watches.
Don't worry. You've got what it takes.
Where are you going, legwork? It's time to head to our next stop. I'm staying in Astana with I see. The people of Astana have only achieved a tiny victory and still have a long... Don't worry, not all joke. Yeah, this is Mr. Amundsen's hat. When he departed, he said farewell, legwork. Take care.
Don't worry, Micah. Just going on a little trip. Someone has to be at the forefront of the interstellar frontier.
Because you're all we have! Have you forgotten about Tiernan?
But what will happen to Penacony if we don't... Tiernan... We Nameless won't stop. Don't worry, Micah. If I don't come back in one piece, then you...
Where are you going, old man?
Oh, you're here.
Answer my question. What are you up to?
Relax, Gallagher. I just came up with a great idea. Wanna hear it?
Oh, come on. Aren't all your ideas... If you die too, the secret of Stellaron...
Yes. I'm afraid there's no way out in Penacony, so I'll have to consider... We'll organize a festival using the Watchmaker's legacy as a facade.
So...
Desperate. Don't we have you here, my friend? This task is challenging. Make sure to send an invitation.
Misha! Where are you going?
Oh, it's you, Clocky. Last night, I had a long...
Write it down?
Oh, so I won't forget.
Of course! You told me that when you were a kid, you lived in a room full of clocks.
Yes, but what I didn't mention was I was a kid, and there was always a special pocket watch in my memory. I wanted to have a pocket watch like that.
Yeah. Every night.
But you know what? It wasn't until the day it was. So, your name and the Watchmaker.
We've arrived at Dreamflux Reef. So, where to next?
You know, Clocky, I don't think I'll be going anywhere else. I've traveled far enough, and it's time for a little break.
Oh. So, we'll set out again. When you're rested?
No, I'll stay here. And then, this is where it ends.
This is... where it ends? What do you mean, Misha? You told me that the trailblazing expedition would never end.
Yeah, that's what I said. So now, it's up to you to decide your next destination.
Next destination? What's that supposed to be? I've been following you. Misha? You're acting weird today. If you're feeling down, we can just do what we usually do. With the clockwork.
No, I'm not feeling down. As for clockwork, yeah, it resolves all problems in this dream. So, do you know what clockwork actually is?
I'm not quite sure.
Well, everyone gets lost at times. They may hesitate and doubt which way to go. That happens in this dreamscape and beyond. But don't worry. Everyone goes through moments of uncertainty and hesitation. Eventually, they gather the courage to make bold decisions. Whether it's calming, joyful, angry, or sad, all they need is a little nudge to take that step toward where they truly belong. I'm leaving that little nudge with you, and I hope you'll share it with others. Such is the essence of clockwork, the will of the trailblaze. Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands, always pointing ahead. This is where my journey ends. From now on, It is your path to walk.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore, and venturing even further. The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to order.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this. Is it because of the resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the bond between you is so strong that it even impresses an Eon.
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of the Oak family, I'm cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival. And, of course, you won't sense the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake. If you truly believe in Akavili's path, then show me their courage and determination.